how to prepare your applications when applying for college, and I think a few other items that she will have to share with you. And then we'll have time for Q&A at the very end, unless Ada, you want them to interject if they have, if you have any burning questions. I guess you could just flag her down and ask her. She's nice enough to entertain you. So with that, I'll just hand it over to Ada, and let's get going.
You guys hear me? Yeah, not that many of us.
No, use the mic.
For streaming.
For the streaming.
Oh,
Yeah.
streaming.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Oh, sorry.
Do you need the pocket one, the pocket microphone?
Huh?
Pocket?
No, it's
No,
fine.
that's
Don't
fine.
worry. I'm easy, all right?
All right, thank you.
So my name is Ada Salgado, and I'm an admissions recruiter for FIU. So basically what that means is that I talk to high school students primarily, typically juniors and seniors, about the application process at FIU. I'm also assigned, we have a team, and we're all assigned to different territories and different areas to kind of help service you guys, because it's a big university, and we'll talk about the size and all that stuff, so it kind of help you. I also have my contact information at the end of the slide, so for those who are thinking about applying, or when you guys are getting ready to apply, or whatever, you're getting there, you need help, you can always email me. And ask me questions, what is a fee waiver, whatever, I don't know what this means, and I'll help you. So basically that's my job. This is my QR code. So basically I'll take you to like my page, you'll fill it out, and then it'll start sending you information about FIU. But yeah, that's basically what that is. And then we'll talk about the history. Alright, so...
Can you go back please for the QR code?
Oh, the QR code?
Yeah, please. Try to
I have to put muscle into this, the up arrow. Go. There you go. Alright. We're good?
Yes, thank you.
Cool. Perfect. Alright. I'll have it at the end as well. So, a little bit about FIU. So, FIU, Florida International University, we first opened our doors in 1972. So, we're part of the Florida State higher education system. So, us, FAU, UF, USF, UCF, so all the, F's of Florida. So, and then we're a fairly new institution. So in comparison to UF and the rest of them, FSU, we're fairly new. But considering that we are about 50-ish plus more years old, we've come such a long way. And we'll talk a lot about our rankings and stuff later. It shows a lot about how much FIU has progressed over the last few years. FIU is a large institution, so we have the largest opening enrollment in U.S. collegiate history with about 5,667 students at that time when we first opened our doors. Today, our freshman class alone, so just our freshman class is that size, so FIU is pretty large. And then our main campus is actually built on an abandoned airfield. So if you go on campus, you do the campus tour with us, it is free. If you're available Monday through Friday, twice a day. And we do it with our student tour guides, and they show you a really nice time around campus. And then we do one Saturday tour per month. So if you're ever interested in that, you can always do that as well. And they'll show you the air tower that's still standing there as well. Now, a little bit about us today. Today, FIU has about 57,000 plus students. That includes all our graduate students, FIU Online.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. We have over 200 degree programs. So we have, he was talking about majors. We have over 200 majors and minors at FIU. So anything you can think of, nursing, law, engineering, political science, poli-sci, criminal justice, all that stuff is already at FIU. And then...
What about the medical? Sorry.
Yeah, we have pre-med. We have pre-med, biology, biological sciences, marine biology. We have lots.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question? 6,500. Is that one semester or the whole year?
That's the whole year.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Is it
Compared to FIU, what is it?
2. So, fall spring.
Compared to FIU, how much? Same?
All state institutions, so anything FAU, FIU, USF, we're about all the same price. So, because it's all Florida State public.
Are you going to give us some time for Q&A after you're done?
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. We can. It's a short, small group. It's fine. Now, every major is going to belong to a different school or college. So that's how we help mitigate the size. So once a student is enrolled at FIU, they assign them an academic advisor inside their department or it belongs to their college that knows specifically about that major. So if a student is looking for an internship opportunity, looking for a scholarship that's specific to their major, then they would go directly to their department to find those because the size, it helps, mitigate the size of all the students at school. And so once a student is enrolled, they know which school that they belong to and where they can go for academic advising, internship opportunities, scholarships, and stuff like that. So the cost of tuition for in-state, so if students live and reside, graduate from a school in the state of Florida, is about $6,500 a school year. So we do have one of the lowest tuition rates across the U.S. Typically, again, all the state schools, we have about the same price, but it varies depending on like housing, if a student wants to stay on campus, and maybe FAU has a more expensive or FIU has more expensive, so it kind of varies depending on that, but the base price is about $6,500 a school year.
Wow.
Yeah.
For a quick question.
Yeah.
How many credits?
That's expensive.
It's full-time.
Say it.
Full-time student. So this is actually for 15 credits.
15 for the whole year, 15 credits?
So 30 credits total. 15 one semester, 15 the other semester.
Okay, 30 credits.
Yeah.
Is that, that does include the dorms?
Does not include dormitories.
Okay.
Yeah, because it varies.
Okay.
Yeah. And typically a student will take about 12 credits to be full-time. 12 credits is full, oh no.
I'm gonna take it.
Oh, sorry, I got it. So typically 12 credits is about a full-time student, which is about 4 classes. 15 is about 5, which is about 5 classes. Students kind of go in between 4 and 5 when they start college, because college level classes are a bit harder than high school classes. Takes up more of their time.
Mandatory number of credits. Do you have such?
Full-time is 12. It's not mandatory, but if you want financial aid, 12.
You have to take it.
Yes, if you want financial aid, yes, 12. And then our out-of-state tuition is about between $18,000 to $19,000 a school year. So staying in the state of Florida, whether you go to FIU or you decide to go somewhere else, if it's public and if it's in-state, it's probably the best way to go if you're thinking about cost. So that's just me being real with you, me being honest, right? That's the beauty of staying within the state of Florida. You're probably going to spend a lot less. A lot of students want to come to Florida because it's a lot cheaper to stay in Florida, go to school in Florida, but then they want in-state tuition, and it doesn't work that way. So if you have that in-state tuition, that residency, it does help a lot more. It's actually hard to get in-state tuition if you're not from Florida. We are actually the 4th preeminent university in the state of Florida. This is actually designated this summer. So what that means is that all the colleges are ranked based on the level of academic excellence, research, all that great stuff, graduation rates. So preeminence is the highest level of academic excellence a university can achieve. We just became the 4th one, so we've joined UF, FSU, and USF, and now it's us too. So considering the fact that we are only about 50 plus years old, and we've already reached preeminence, there's so many other things that FIU can do in the future. As far as our rankings go, our rankings have been updated recently. We are actually in the top 50 for the best public university in the US. We're actually, according to the Wall Street Journal, we're 46th with the US News World Reports. This is this year's ranking, so this is all fairly new. We're actually top 25 in the best value, so that's in terms of cost and considering costs and student graduation rates and their job market opportunities. And then we are also an R1 research school. So all research schools are ranked based on how much research they bring into the community and into the university. So we have the highest level of research activity happening on our campus. So if you're thinking about research or all the great things that FIU is doing in terms of medicine, marine biology, especially big on climate change, FIU, there's so many opportunities for you guys to explore those worlds on the research side as well.
What about pharmaceutical?
We don't have pharmacy school. That's a great question.
Okay.
We have pre-pharmacy, so we'll help you get everything you need to go to any pharmacy school you want. We just don't have the graduate program to go to pharmacy school. But you can get all your credits and then pick any pharmacy school you like if you do well, of course.
Just to interrupt here, a quick information. Sorry to do that.
Yeah.
Tuition-wise, they are cheaper than FAU. Rank-wise, they are better than FAU.
Correct.
The what?
Rank-wise, they are
Rank.
better than FAU.
Rank,
Rank-wise, tuition-wise, they are cheaper.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only problem they are far away from here.
It's not too bad. Come
It's
on,
it's an hour, like an hour.
At least.
No.
Okay, for this.
45 minutes, no traffic. 45 minutes.
For example, for FAU, they have some sort of mileage. If you live away from that, it's mandatory to take a dorm. Do you have such situation for FIU?
No, we don't have mandatory dorms for students. No, yeah. We can't do that, no, yeah. Because a lot of our students are local, so we can't mandate dormitories. And no, it's not mandated.
I'm promoting for you guys, by the way. Tell them they have to.
Great question. All right, so as far as our locations go, so the main one, so when freshman students are thinking about FIU and their size and like all the great stuff they're talking about, most of the activity is going to happen on our main campus, which is called Modesto AMD campus. This is our biggest campus, and this is where our 8 housing dormitories are. Most of our majors are going to be housed at this space. Now, the rest of the majors are really locations are really for our commuter students, really for our community students to kind of help mitigate the driving and stuff like that, since it is in Miami, this is South Florida, so we have to take traffic and stuff into account.
Is it close to a train station? Do you have an idea?
This one is Biscayne Bay.
This one? Okay.
Yeah. So Biscayne Bay is actually in North Miami, and this campus is home to our hospitality program. So if you're thinking about hotel management, restaurant management, or any business on the hospitality side and tourism, which is actually pretty big in South Florida, so if you're thinking about job-wise as well, it's actually good opportunities there. That's home to that program. So a lot of their classes are going to be housed at the Biscayne Bay campus. Now, there is free transportation between main campus and Biscayne Bay campus. So if a student has to drive, or maybe is driving from here, and it makes it easier for them to go to Biscayne Bay, they can drop their car off there and then take the bus to take them to main campus, and it is completely free to the students.
Good.
Yes.
Just a quick interjection. I think FIU's hospitality management program is ranked #1.
Yes.
Yes.
I heard that.
In the country.
In the country.
Hotel
Our
management.
hospitality program.
Yes, hotel management.
FIU?
FIU. Yeah, the Biscayne Bay campus
Oh,
program.
really?
Yeah.
And there's so many opportunities for job internships and stuff like that. We actually have a partnership with the Royal Caribbean Cruise Line. So students can go on a cruise, but they're working on the cruise. They're not having fun on the cruise.
This is fun.
And they're
That's
also
nice.
taking classes on the cruise to get job experience.
That's nice.
Yeah, they work the South Beach Food and Wine Festival, all the major things that are happening in South Florida. A lot of our FIU students are actually working those events. They're getting a lot of experience. Over 90% of their students, when they graduate, have job offers. So if you're thinking about hospitality, and maybe you like business, but maybe you're not really like so fond of math, you're still learning business, but without all the math.
What's the starting salary? Any idea?
It depends on what you're looking
And
for.
like on a boat, on a hotel, on.
I heard like the lowest I've seen is like 55K, like as like a manager kind of thing. But then they work their way up. But if they have their degrees, then that's different. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about degree, graduate.
Yeah, it depends. I'm not a hospitality person, but 55. They have their own recruiter. I can get you their number if you want. Yeah, but about 55 is what I've seen for managers. The engineering center is right next door to the Modesto MAD campus. So if you're thinking about doing any engineering majors, you're probably going to spend about like 90% of your time here. This is where all the research labs are, and it's honestly down the street. There's a free little shuttle that takes them there, so they can just hop on that bus. And then it has all the spaces and areas that they need for their clubs and organizations. So we have like FIU Panther Motorsport. They build their own go-karts, they race them, but it looks really, really good on their resume. So if you're thinking about mechanical engineering, then definitely you want to join Panther Motorsport, because a lot of the major companies that come to our university to recruit their students for internship, they usually ask, hey, are you part of Panther Motorsport? Because we like those kinds of students that are participating in those organizations. FIU I-75 is in Broward. It helps mitigate, they take some general ed classes if you want to take some classes there to not drive all the way down south, you can. And then FIU downtown at Brickell is really for graduate students in business. So if you're thinking about doing like a master's, an MBA, or a doctoral level program, then downtown at Brickell is where you can take some classes as well. So these are all of our major schools and colleges. Like I said, we have 11 of them. So I'll talk about the more important ones, or the ones that people mostly know. College Art Sciences and Education is our biggest one. CASE, home to education majors, psychology, marine biology, all those kinds of things. College of Business, obviously. Our business administration program is top 2 in the US, and then our MBA is top 5. So if you're thinking about business, FIU business is definitely top tier for business. I'm actually in the business analytics program, so go me. Our Chapman School of Hospitality, which we touched on already, is already a highly ranked program as well. College of Communication, Architecture, and the Arts, home to interior design, architecture, landscape architecture. So if you think about architecture, FIU does have a program for that.
This is not high school, no.
Business?
No, the School of International and Public Affairs. Is this a high school?
No.
No, no.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. They all belong to the FIU.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then College of Engineering, Computing, Computer Science programs, Mechanical Engineering, Electrical Engineering, Biomedical Engineering. Our Computer Engineering program, and then the Computer Science program specifically has 2 tracks. A 4-year track, which is where the student graduates with their bachelor. They also have a 5-year track where students will graduate with their bachelor and their master's in computer science at the same time. So, yeah, good stuff there. Yes?
Can you explain maybe to him like the difference between school, college, department?
Yes, please.
So.
Oh, okay. Well, honestly.
You want me to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. So a few departments, depending on their size and the chain of command, they could be called a school or a college.
Okay.
So, like for example, the school could report directly to the president, or it could be part of a bigger college. So that's how it's more like administrative stuff. So school doesn't mean high school. Just to
okay.
clarify.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I asked because FIU they have high school.
No.
You don't here.
No. Like for example, SIPA, your question, School of International Public Affairs. So we have a few schools like Economics Department is there, International Relations, Political Science, Criminal Justice. They all, religious studies, they all fall under School of International Public Affairs.
But
it's
I know,
an umbrella term.
Sorry, but I know what you mean, that sometimes the university has like a high school that they work with in partnership, and the students can take classes there and do it at the same time. That's called dual enrollment.
Okay.
And FIU does have one. We just don't recruit for that.
Okay.
And it belongs to Miami-Dade County Public Schools, so it's a county school, it's a county public school, but the students can take classes at that school at FIU and get college credits even though they're still in high school.
Okay.
So when they graduate, they only have 2 years left of college. They already did 2 at the same time as their college. So I know what you're talking about.
All right.
And we do have one. I just don't talk about that here because I don't work for them.
What's the price for college credits? Just general information. Because as for example, for FAU, the college credit for normal, if you go to school, it's $300. You are $200 something, so are cheaper than that.
Yeah.
But if you take college credits while you are in their high school, you pay $100 for a credit.
Sometimes it's free depending on the school that you're
Exactly.
with. So
for FIU specifically, what's the tuition for those type of credits?
I don't know the dual enrollment prices because they have their own offices. So we don't, and we don't recruit for them. So I mainly focus on the students who are freshmen and coming over. But it depends on, from my own personal experience being in the Miami-Dade County Public Schools, I know sometimes it's free. So it depends. Yeah.
You have to do some research about it.
Yeah. So then we also have obviously the College of Medicine. So if the student is looking to go into the medical field, they obviously have to do their bachelor's first in the pre-med, and then they graduate from that, and then if they have all their credits, then they can apply directly to the medical school. So we have the College of Medicine, we also social work, the College of Law. Actually, for our College of Law, which again, the student has to get pre-law first, graduate from that, and then become a lawyer, then go to law school, and then become a lawyer, the bar passing rates in the state of Florida, FIU has the highest. So all of our students have the highest bar passing rates in the state of Florida. So when they become a lawyer, they're the smartest ones in the room.
Oh.
FIU.
One of the best in the country.
Yes, for law. Yeah. And honestly, one of the most diverse schools as well. So talking about diversity at FIU for law, we have one of the most diverse law schools. Obviously, our College of Nursing and Health Sciences, and then the Honors College. So a quick note about the Honors College. So if your student is interested in the Honors College, if they meet qualifications because they have really high grades, really high test scores, the honors, when they apply, the Honors College reaches out to them and tells them, hey, you met qualifications, go ahead and accept this offer. If they don't meet qualifications, the student can apply directly to the Honors College. And they have to write an essay if they have to apply, but if they meet the automatic qualifications, they can just go directly into the Honors College.
What's so special about the Honor College? What's the difference between others?
So they have to take seminars to help build their resume. So and they also have an extra academic advisor to help them prepare for all the resume building, the job markets. They also have their own internship opportunities, their own scholarship that comes with being an honors college student, their own housing dormitories. So they get extra perks in terms of like academic advising, scholarships, and internships.
And it doesn't matter which college they are enrolled in.
Doesn't matter. Yep, they can be honors college, anything, and they can have that. Yeah. It depends on the student. So as far as student involvement goes, we have over 300 clubs and organizations. So anything a student wants to join to kind of get their name out there, meet people, connect with others, we have over 300 of those. So if there's not a space for you, you can also get funding for your own club and organization. That's also an option. We also have kayaking, campus activities at Biscayne Bay. It's very more nature centered. You know, you can go kayaking at the bay, go on a run, go on a walk, stuff like that. You can do that at Biscayne Bay campus. Our Modesto MAD campus is over 300 acres, so if you can spend all day walking that if you want to explore that as well. We have an art museum at the main campus that is free to our students. We have a theater department that put on stage plays, also free for our students as well. Music for concerts, free to the students. So once they're FIU students, they can go to all these activities for free. There's always something for them to do to connect with others if they're looking for that. We have 2 recreational centers. Our main recreational center at our main campus is 3 floors. So they have classes, you can do yoga, Pilates, spin, cycle, whatever. You can also go to the gym. Our Biscayne Bay campus has a smaller one. And then they have intramural sports. So we are D1 in athletics. This terms is like football, basketball, and all that stuff if they want to play competitively. But if you want to play just for fun, you can also do that on your own time as well.
Do they offer a free coffee? No.
Free coffee?
No.
Sometimes. If you walk into my office at 3 o'clock, you can get free coffee. Housing. As far as housing goes, we have 8 housing dormitories on our main campus. These are pictures of some of the ones that we do have. This one right here, the top, this is for our honors college students. So if they're thinking about honors college, this is where most of them do stay. All of them are suite style, so you will all have your own bathroom or bedroom to share. So you're not going to share with everyone on your floor. You're just going to share with the people in your room if you have roommates. And we have, all of them obviously have air conditioning. We live in South Florida, so you cannot have that. Lounges for studying that are open 24/7. A pool for the students. Laundry rooms, Wi-Fi, cable TV, utilities. All of that is already included in their housing prices. Every housing dormitory is going to vary on price depending on what the student chooses. But it can range between $2,000 to $4,000 a semester, depending on what the student wants to do. You do have to apply by priority deadline, so making sure you're applying early if you're thinking about going housing. Financial aid, so this is kind of the important one. All right, so since most of us are Florida students in the state of Florida, the main one that's important really to not just FIU, but all the state schools is FAFSA. So FAFSA is a government website that tells us how much money the parents or the family makes and then how much aid the student needs based off their FAFSA. So a lot of our students are Pell Grant eligible, which is a grant given by the government that, to be honest, in the state of Florida covers about 90 to 95% of tuition and fees if they qualify. This is why FAFSA is super important. FAFSA tells us how much financial aid you need. So not all financial aid is academic-based or merit-based. Some of it is need-based, and a lot of that is going to come from what FAFSA tells us. So student has to fill up FAFSA on their own with their family. Then FAFSA sends us their report, and then our financial aid office can go in and select which aid you qualify for based off your FAFSA. Super, super important. It's also very complicated to do. It's not the easiest website, not the easiest application. So making sure that if your school is having like a financial aid night, FAFSA night, you attend that, because you're putting in like tax information and stuff like that, and that can be scary to some people, especially if you've never done that before. So making sure you fill that out is super important.
Is FAFSA part of the Department of Education?
Yes, it's with the government.
Because now I'm just thinking that now they're getting rid of the Department of Education. So
right now we're just going to speak on that.
Huh?
Yeah.
If that does get shut down, the Department of Education, how would that affect?
Who knows, honestly? This world is, we don't know what's going to go happen next.
But I think this has been blocked by the court. A federal judge blocked it because they decided to stop the DEI thing. I think a federal judge stopped the process.
That's true. Yeah, he stops a lot of those ones.
Yeah, so FAFSA is key for everything. So I don't think that can be one of the things that they can take away, because they've been using that forever. But we'll roll with the punches. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Okay. Merit scholarships, super important. If your student is applying as a senior or upcoming senior, they do need to apply by specific deadlines in order to qualify for merit scholarships. So they have to apply by our early action deadline. So for example, this year, our early action deadline for students in the state of Florida is November 1st. So what that means is that the student had to apply to the university, send us their test scores and their transcripts all by November 1st. They didn't have to do an essay to see if they qualify for merit. They were going to be automatically considered if they applied by that deadline. After November 1st, we're not looking at merit scholarships anymore. So they had to have applied by that deadline. So that's really important for a lot of students. December 3rd is for our out-of-state students and our international students. Next year, if you're applying next year, or whenever it's your time to apply, it's around that same time every year. So making sure you're looking at deadlines and you're following them to the T, because if you miss the deadline, you're not going to be eligible to be considered for a merit scholarship. Merit scholarships are considered for SAT and GPA. Does that make sense?
Yes. So if you pass your deadline, your application you're going to consider for the next year.
Not for the next year, but for regular decision. So we have like early action, and then we have a regular decision. And if you pass the deadline for the early action, you're not early action, you're regular, but also you lost the opportunity of getting considered for merit scholarships. That's why that's important. And they don't have to do anything else. Yeah.
So the student has to apply this as well last year of high school or
their senior year. So their last year in high school.
On high school.
Okay. Yeah. So get ready like summer before they start. That's when they can start looking at stuff. Our applications usually open up in August.
Okay.
So they have like from August to November to apply early action.
Can you just tell just for the youth, what does that mean? What is the merit scholarship? Why is that?
So yeah, a merit scholarship can cover 100% of your tuition and fees.
Oh, nice.
We have three kinds. The first one covers 100, the second one covers 75, and the third one covers 50% of your tuition and fees. It is all based off your GPA and your test scores. There is no essay requirement. You just have to make sure you apply by the deadline to make sure that you get considered for it. When you get your decision, you'll get two letters. Letter 1, congratulations, you've been admitted. Letter 2, this is your scholarship offer.
Is that a state or federal?
It's with the university.
Wow,
Yeah, so it's a university one. So that's why our out-of-state students and our international students can qualify for that too.
Very good.
Yeah, so it's with the university. Okay. Raise Me. If you're a school in the state of Florida right now, like a public school, we have another scholarship. It's called Raise Me. This is based off your community service hours. If you open a profile on Raise Me and you start as a freshman, like in high school, you start putting in all the community service hours that you're doing in school, and it automatically generates scholarship money for you. So if you decide to come to FIU, you already have this scholarship that you've been raising with your community service hours. So you can earn up to $2,500 a school year if you do that 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade year. By the time you come over to FIU, you'll have $2,500 times 4. So you have about $9,000 in scholarship money that you can use. And it's only just because of your community service hours. Community service is not one of our requirements for FIU, but this is our way to give back to you for doing that work. You put it into your Raise Me, and you get some scholarship money off of it. So,
very good.
Yeah. So if you're a senior, interested in that, even if you're a junior, you're in 10th grade, this is a good opportunity. I like to call it free money for doing community service. Golden Promise, this is really good for Florida residents. It is not a scholarship, it's just a promise FIU makes. If a student has a student aid index of 0 or less, so this is the number that FAFSA gives you at the end of your application. Basically, your parents can't contribute to your education whatsoever, higher ed, college is expensive, whatever, based off your FAFSA, then FIU promises that we'll find you a way to pay 100% of your tuition and fees, even if you didn't get any of the merit scholarships. So I'll be honest with you, I was a Golden Promise baby. So I didn't qualify for merit scholarships because my SAT was not high enough. SAT's pretty hard. But I was a Golden Promise baby. So they offered me grants, other kinds of scholarships for my grades or whatever, and then that's how I paid for school. So graduate debt free. All right, the admissions process. So again, applications open up in August.
Before we go through that.
Yeah.
Do you support Bright Future program?
Yes.
Okay. What do you mean by student aid index specifically?
So student aid index is a number when the student doesn't have to do this. FAFSA does this automatically. So FAFSA, once you finish it, it calculates a number and it tells you, and 0 is the lowest, not the lowest because there's negatives. 0 or less shows that a family cannot pay for the student's education. Okay. They just cannot afford it. And so it's calculated by the government. So the government will tell the student when they're done with their FAFSA what their student aid index is. If they see that it's 0 or negative, then they know that they're below that, right? But it varies on the family. So depending on their family's tax information and stuff like that.
Going back to FAFSA.
Yes.
I heard, I didn't go through the system, so I don't know how.
Yeah.
I heard that some sort of the student who get the loan, they have to pay it back. So the interest is gonna kick in. Some students get away with that; they don't have to pay back anything.
It depends.
It depends. Can you explain what do you mean it depends? What are those that it depends?
Well, I'm not financial aid, but I'll do it to my best of ability. Now, not all students, not all of FAFSA is going to give you loans. So if a student doesn't qualify for any financial aid through the government, they're like any grants or anything like that, like if their aid index is very high, that means that their parents can pay for school, then they're offered a loan. Okay, so it depends on the aid. And then there's 2 types of loans, subsidized and unsubsidized. And then depending on what career you're going into, sometimes they forgive your loans. And so that's why some people get away with not. So for example, like teaching is one of those things, right? Teaching, sometimes they're more, because they're government employees or, whatever, then they'll forgive those loans. But not everyone can go through a forgiveness program. I'm not too familiar with forgiveness or loans. Why? Because I went to school for free. Now, not all aid that FAFSA gives you is loans and you have to pay back. Some of it is grants. Grants you do not pay back. Some of it is scholarships. Scholarships you don't pay back. The only thing you'll pay back is a loan. And so if a student wants a loan, they have to go through a whole process. They have to fill out a form, they have to put in their social security number, like it's a lot of work. So they'll know when they're accepting a loan and they're accepting a grant. Grant is free. You just accept, you're like, okay, I'm done. A loan is different.
If the student is independent, will that raise their chances to get something out of it? Like walking away without paying back or paying minimum?
See, I don't know. That would have been, yeah. Yeah. I think I took out a small loan for my first year because I wanted to stay on campus, but I signed that. So even though I'm dependent, I was responsible for paying that off. Yeah. So your parents, the status doesn't. I don't think it matters. Yeah.
So because it's important, so you want to.
Yeah. Go ahead.
With FAFSA, you have a limit based on how many credits you're gonna take. So they have a limit. If you go over that, they may not approve it.
Yeah.
Do we have the same case with other scholarships or the things that you have, or just open? They can keep going. They can do undergraduate. They can go for graduate, and they keep taking this advantage of such merit.
Yeah. Everything here is gonna have a limit. This is all undergrad stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. FAFSA doesn't go for grad, and neither does their merit scholarships. Grad is a completely whole different world.
Okay.
Most of them are going to have a credit limit, but we plan that. This university plans for students to complete their degree in 4 years, so they don't incur those charges.
Taking in consideration the programs that you have to do like pre-med, pre-law.
They still account for that.
So it counts for the pre and the actual degree, so 8 years?
No, not the graduate degree, but the pre part, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the law and the medicine is considered as a graduate.
That's a graduate program.
So those will not, okay.
Yeah, you can't take that for, that's a whole different thing.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So as far as the admissions process goes, applications usually open up August every year. So if you're thinking about applying, August is your start time. Our scholarship deadline is usually either November 1st for in-state students or December 3rd for out-of-state. And then we release decisions 3 times a year. So student applies and then they have to wait until we release decisions. So sometimes students reach out to me, I haven't got my decision yet. It's not decision deadline yet, date yet. First one was December 11th, then there was a second one this year, January 22nd, and the third one is March 31st. So that was our very last one. Applications closed February 25th, so a couple days from now. After that, we don't admit early fall or summer or fall anymore. Even if the student says, hey miss, I forgot. Sorry friend, I'm gonna have to close that up because we've been open for a long time. As far as application goes, our first year application, what is a first year? A first year student is a high school senior who's applying to college for the very first time. There's a $30 application fee. If you go to a public school right now, wherever you are, Miami-Dade, Broward, or wherever, you qualify for free lunch or you have a waiver, and your counselor will tell you if you have a waiver for your SAT, you can use that same waiver to pay for your application fee, so you don't have to pay for your application. You'll just send me the waiver. Hey miss, I have a waiver, don't use the waiver. If you decide to come to FIU, there's a $200 deposit to start, to get enrolled. You can use that same waiver to waive that deposit, so you don't have to pay $200. How do you qualify for the waiver? Your high school will tell you if you qualify. They'll give it to you, you use that waiver to apply for your test, and then you can use that waiver for like free lunch and stuff like that. So you can use that waiver endlessly with FIU. As far as your a complete application is going to have a high school transcript, so we need your high school transcripts directly from your school. And we're going to need your SAT and your ACT or your CLT test scores, also a requirement. Any public school in the state of Florida is going to ask you that because state law says we need your SAT scores, okay? And then everything must come directly from the testing agency. So it must come directly from the College Board to us. It cannot come from the student. It has to come through the testing agency. So something important as well, we admit 3 times a year. We admit in the early fall, which is summer. We admit in the fall, and then we admit in the spring. And every term has a different level of requirement. Fall is the hardest to get into. So that is when you need the highest GPA and the highest test scores. It's the most competitive. Early fall, which is our summer, and our spring have lower requirements. So what a student does, they apply, they select the term that they want to come to, and then we sort them based off their GPA and their test scores. So even if the student put, oh, I want to come in the fall, if they don't meet fall requirements, we offer them spring or we offer them summer. And sometimes they email me and they say, Miss, you made a mistake. You put me in the summer. And I was like, no mistake. We did this on purpose. We want to make sure that you can be successful. So you come in the summer, you have a shorter class, you get acclimated to college life, to college classes. It helps you in the long run. So some students sometimes don't want to start in the summer, but summer helps. Yes.
You have four semesters or 5 semesters?
It's 3. So 3. Yeah, 3
Summer
semesters.
just 1.
Yeah, summer is 1. And summer is shorter, so a full semester can go like 3 months, August, September, October, November, December, 4. Whereas a summer semester is only 6 weeks long. So sometimes the student's like, oh, I don't want to come in the summer. It's only 6 weeks long. So,
What if they got accepted on spring, for example, and they deferred to fall?
Nope.
No?
No. They try that, but no. Be like, no, sorry, you can't do that. It's on purpose, right? It's requirement based. So it's dependent on their GPA, depending on their test score. And we do this with the highest, like we have like a calculation that they've made. So they want to make sure the student is successful. So typically when they start in the summer, they get acclimated to college and college classes. It's much different than high school. And it helps them in the fall, because fall is like all these people at the same time, they get overwhelmed. So it's on purpose. If you're curious to know what the averages are for SAT and for GPA, dependent on the term, like summer, fall, or whatever, you can Google it. You put FIU first year pathways, and it will show you like what the averages are, so you can see what you aim for if you're thinking about any term in specific. And then as far as our deadlines go, already passed for merit scholarships was November 1st, probably around the same time next year if you're applying next year. And then international students had until December 3rd for merit scholarships. Application closed for good, 4 days from now, December 25th. Campus tours are free. So if you're like wanting to see campus, honestly, I feel like that is our biggest seller as far as like campus life goes. People come on campus, they fall in love with campus, they want to stay on campus. You can register online, it's completely free, admissions@fiu.edu. We do tours twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening, afternoon, and then one Saturday per month. So you can come on a Saturday, drive down, you do a campus tour with our student tour guides, they're amazing, and they'll show you all the great stuff. It's completely free and it's fun. And then we also do application workshops or admission presentations online on Zoom every Monday or Tuesday. That is run by one of us. So sometimes it's me, sometimes it's my other person, the other recruiter. But we basically do this, and then we answer questions in the same way I'm doing it right now. Academic sessions are more if you're curious to know, like, what is a credit, what does that mean? I'm undecided on my major. You can register for those online, and then you can talk to someone from those departments. Our College of Engineering does one, business does one, or and pre-med does one as well. So if you want to know more about what that major looks like, then those are good to go to if you're curious about those. This is our question time. I'll take questions, but you can also just take my information there. Yeah.
So this young man, can I tell that? He said he would like to attend FIU, and he wants to become a surgeon. What's the pathway for him?
A sergeant, like in the police?
Not a sergeant, surgeon.
A surgeon, got it. So you would go to FIU, you would pick a major. It could be any major, honestly, but typically biology, health sciences, chemistry, maybe, if you like chemistry, and you will add pre-med track to your major. And the pre-med track is going to make sure you have everything you need to go to medical school. You graduate, so you're going to have 2 things on your diploma. It's going to say pre-med, and it's going to say biology. And then you can apply to any medical school you like. because you have all your prerequisites, but you got to make sure you got A's in all your classes, okay? You got to take the MCAT. That's different from us. You can apply to FIU Med, or you can go anywhere else. But we have a medical school too, so if you want to stay there, you can go there too. And then you're done. You go to medical school for 4 years.
We have some students, they graduated.
Really?
FIU medical school.
Oh, nice. They're smart.
Yeah, they're here.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Go to school? Marine biologist or regular biologist? You go to school for biology. It's 4 years. When you graduate, you have your biology. And then it depends on like what type of biology you want to do. Like, do you want to do research? Do you want to work in a lab? You'll figure that out when you get there. No pressure. You have time. Anyone else? Typically, yes. We like our students to stay within because we're research and we're high-level research. So the classes, I'll be honest, the classes are harder. So it looks more rigorous on your coursework when you go FIU to FIU. If you're FIU honors and you're pre-med, then FIU honors guarantees an interview with FIU med school. Doesn't guarantee admission, but guarantees the interview. So it is easier because you are building that connection while you're already undergrad at FIU. So typically, yes, because we like our students to kind of stay within the house. Yeah, great question. Yeah.
How long does that all take?
For the surgeon part, total, like 8 years. Oh, yeah. For now. Yeah. Yes. International what? That's a great question.
What's the question is?
International rankings. Was it specific to a major? Because I don't know all of them. There's over 200 majors. Is there a specific one you're looking for? Medicine? Oh, okay. I don't know. I'll look it up for you, though. Great question. Yeah. Any other ones?
Do you have a dentist there?
We don't have a dentistry program. We have pre-dental, though.
Okay.
Actually, going to dentistry school is very hard. There's only 12 dental schools in the U.S.
Okay.
So if you want to go dental, we have pre-dental, and then you can take all your classes at FIU to get you ready for dental school, and then when you graduate, you can pick any dental school. I actually met, what was he? He worked, but we have Internet of Things. The Business Analytics program has AI courses, so they're trying to incorporate more in that. So they have the safety. Oh, that's nice. That's cute. Any other questions?
Ladies?
Questions?
Young ladies? Okay, no? No
Don't be
question?
shy.
No?
Well, you have my email, so if you're shy. But now I'm back at FIU, so I work there, and I'm doing my business analytics program now. So I just started. It's my first semester, actually. Yeah. Yes.
Where do you work now?
FIU. I get paid for this.
His father from FIU. FAU.
Competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, see.
Yeah.
You gotta burn that shirt.
Yeah. But it doesn't matter. Next year they're closing door. It's okay.
I'm just kidding, don't do that.
Okay, a question about the diversity on campus. You know, this is a Muslim community.
Yeah.
How far they are welcome on your campus? We had some issues with other campuses.
Really?
We had some presidents that were emailing, accusing students, the Muslim students, whenever they were protesting that they are against the policy and whatever. How far FIU is friendly with Muslim community students?
Well, yeah, since
You
you're
know,
international policy
I
affairs.
teach at FIU, at UM, and NBC, so I have like
Can you use the microphone, sorry?
Mike.
yeah. So
Since I teach at all the three institutes, I think they have a better sort of comparative framework to respond. So FIU is extremely friendly. It's very diverse, and in that sense, I wouldn't have any worries. I can say the same thing about the University of Miami, although students come from a slightly different demographic and socioeconomic, I don't want to say class, but status. Yes, thank you. And NDC, it's its own ecosystem because it has 8 campuses and Miami-Dade College. and Miami-Dade College, you know, it's more campus specific. So, you know, downtown campus is different, you know, than the one in Kendall, the one in North Miami. So it's like a micro ecosystem of its own, each campus.
Do you have Muslims or Arab organizations at FIU?
Yes, yes. That Jaffer Center for Muslim World Studies. Yeah, which is part of the School of International Public Affairs. No, I would have zero worries about diversity and different types of diversity, not just religious diversity, but like ethnic, language, what have you. FIU is extremely diverse and extremely friendly. I would assume much more so than FAU, although I don't know much about FAU, but I'm just assuming based on the location. FIU is a true melting pot.
Do they have dedicated places for worship?
They have an interfaith space for worship, but it's not divided based on every religion or religious denomination. But there is a common space for prayer. Right? I'm talking about the new one. Yeah, which is beautiful. Like that's an architecture like marble in its own. So yeah.
If you walk in the campus, okay, what's the odds that you're gonna see a hijabi girl on the campus?
The odds are pretty high. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
What's the international?
Those odds are pretty high at University of Miami as well as MDC, depending on the campus. It's not like an anomaly.
What's the international student percentage there?
Over 3,500 international students.
Out of?
Out of all 57. Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah, 1,000%. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Mostly from where? South America?
We do have a lot of our numbers do come from South America, but we have a lot of Indian students. Yeah, so we do have a lot, but South America is definitely one of our bigger numbers. Yeah.
So what's your GPA gap for the fall?
Oh, that's a great question.
What's the gap?
Really, I will say for a student applying, a good sweet spot is a 3.5 weighted GPA, just to be considered at all. And then if you look at our pathways, honestly, 4.0 and above for the fall.
But they're
Weighted.
not international students here, so.
No.
No, we're talking about GPA. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, like, they don't consider themselves international. You might, but.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah. Yeah. Everyone at FIU is mostly like, where are you from? And they're like, Cuba, Colombia, stuff like that. They're not associating themselves directly.
And where are you from?
I'm Honduras.
Honduras. Okay.
Honduras. Yes.
And how old are you?
29.
Oh,
sorry, I just forgot.
Very good.
Yeah, I just forgot. Yeah. Yeah, me too. Oh, I can't tell you that number, friend. That's a lot. Yeah, I can't. It'll take me a long day. Yeah, long day for me.
So you said for fall is 3.5, preferably 4.0.
No, 3.5 just regular to be considered fall, summer, whatever. Fall, summer, spring. 4.0 and above for the fall.
For the fall is 4.0.
Yeah.
Spring and fall, summer.
Below. So that I would say that's when that good 3.5 sweet spot would hit.
Is it the same for international students or just?
Yes. Yeah.
All over the board.
Yep, and all international students have to take SAT and ACT as well, because it's a state requirement. So sometimes they reach out to me like, oh, I don't want to take SAT. It's not as readily available in their countries as it is here. But they still have to take it. They have to register for it online if they want to get a decision.
Or they take English classes.
No, SAT.
They still have
No, yeah, because Florida law is public schools have to ask for SAT. Yep.
If they were on the edge, if they almost passed it, what happened?
Well, there's not really like no pass. There's no pass fail. It's a number. It's a score.
Right. So if the score is almost there.
The only one, if it's almost there, that will help if they take like the English proficiency is the reading part.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, only then.
Right, because I remember they used to do that.
Yeah, only then. But the math part, we can't help with that part. No.
This is for international? No?
For that English proficiency, yes. Yeah.
All right. For the international student, like how much is the cost, an average or minimum or maximum cost for international people?
Total for a year between $18,000 to $19,000 a year.
Because they are foreigners.
Yeah.
Because they're out of state.
Yeah, out of state. No dorms, but about
20,000 a year. That's it.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah. It's still a lot. It's a lot more than what Florida students will pay.
Yeah.
Do you guys have technical programs?
No.
What?
Sorry, we're 4-year university.
Two of them, not one.
Sorry.
Yeah. About the international student, any qualifications request there?
If they're first year, they just have to meet the same qualifications all the rest of the students do. So the GPA and then their test scores.
But if they like from Iraq, okay, let's say.
Same GPA test scores.
They still have to pass the SAT.
Correct.
But they are foreigners. I mean, they are international students.
It's Florida.
Let's close it.